Welcome to Workshop 4, Risk Theory. So far you've identified your family's capitals, explored how they're connected, and begun preserving the knowledge that supports them. Now it's time to ask a different question. What happens when one of those capitals is tested? Risk theory begins with one simple insight. Families do not fail at their average strength. They fail at their weakest point. A family may appear financially secure, but still depend on one person for critical knowledge. It may have strong relationships, but no documented governance. It may possess significant wealth, yet have no shared purpose guiding future decisions. This workshop is about identifying those vulnerabilities before they become problems. Workshop agenda. Before we begin, here's what you'll complete in this workshop. First, you'll identify your family's greatest risks across the 9 capitals. Next, you'll learn how to interpret the harmonic mean and understand why it reveals vulnerabilities that simple averages often hide. Then, you'll build practical hedging strategies that reduce the impact of those vulnerabilities. Finally, you'll prioritize those actions into a practical resilience plan for the months ahead. By the end of this workshop, your family won't simply understand where risk exists. You'll know what to do about it. Let's begin. Part A. Capital Risk Register. The first part of this workshop is your Capital Risk Register. Unlike Workshop 1, you won't be rescoring the 9 capitals. Those scores have already been carried forward automatically. Today, you're looking at them through a different lens. Not, how strong are we? But, where are we fragile? Before you begin, take a moment to read the scoring guide on the right-hand side of the worksheet. It explains how to interpret both harmonic mean scores and what each colour means. You'll notice that this workshop uses the harmonic mean instead of a simple average. That's intentional. A simple average allows one weak score to hide inside several strong ones. The harmonic mean doesn't. It reacts strongly to low scores because families behave like interconnected systems. One weak capital can create risk for the entire family. You'll also see 2 different harmonic means. The capital harmonic mean measures the resilience of each capital across the whole family. This helps identify which capital represents your family's greatest vulnerability. The individual member, harmonic mean measures each person's resilience across all 9 capitals. This helps identify who may be carrying the greatest hidden risk. Neither score is about judgment. They're conversation starters. Throughout this workshop, trust the harmonic mean over the average families are only as resilient as their weakest point. Once you've familiarized yourselves with the scoring guide, work through each capital together. Read the reflection question aloud. Discuss it openly. Don't rush the conversation. These questions are designed to uncover hidden vulnerabilities that often go unnoticed. Ask yourselves, what happens if the family's primary income suddenly stops? Whose knowledge would disappear if they were no longer here? Which relationships depend entirely on one person? What stories or traditions have never been recorded? Who is carrying more responsibility than they can realistically sustain? Every conversation helps reveal where your family is exposed. Remember, the objective isn't to eliminate every risk. Every family has vulnerabilities. The objective is to understand them before they become problems. Once you've completed Part A, you'll find the first AI prompt. Don't skip it. This prompt is specifically designed to help you complete Part B, your hedging matrix. Most families find it difficult to build practical hedges from a blank page. That's exactly what this prompt is designed to solve. Copy your harmonic mean scores, together with the notes from your family discussions, into your preferred AI assistant. The AI will analyze your family's vulnerabilities and recommend practical hedges tailored to your specific circumstances. Review those recommendations together, adapt them where necessary. Then copy the ideas you agree with into the R-specific hedge column in Part B. Think of this prompt as helping your family move from identifying vulnerabilities to designing practical protection. Part B, Hedging Matrix. If you've completed the first AI prompt, you should now have a draft hedging matrix ready to review. This workshop introduces another important concept, hedging. A hedge is a structural protection. It isn't another family member, it isn't asking someone to work harder, and it isn't hoping nothing goes wrong. A hedge is something your family deliberately puts in place before it's needed. That's different from the bridges you developed in Workshop 2. Bridges connect capability between people. Hedges protect the family when a capital becomes vulnerable. For every capital, you'll see 3 example layers: a primary hedge, a secondary hedge, and an emergency protocol. These are not the answers. They're examples taken from the Workshop 4 framework to help you think. Your family's hedges should reflect your own circumstances and the conversations you've just had in Part A. Use the AI recommendations as a starting point. Review them together, refine them, then decide what your family will actually implement. Finally, assign an owner and a timeline, because a hedge without ownership is simply an idea. Once you've completed your hedging matrix, you'll find the second AI prompt. Again, don't skip it. This prompt is designed to help you complete Part C, your resilience timeline. Using the hedging matrix you've just created, the AI will prioritize your actions, recommend what should happen within the next 90 days, what should be developed over the following 6 months, and what should be tested within 12 months. You'll then copy those recommendations into Part C before reviewing them together as a family. Think of this prompt as helping your family move from planning to implementation. Part C, Resilience Timeline. By this stage, you should already have a draft resilience timeline generated by the AI. Your task now isn't to start from scratch, it's to review those recommendations together, agree what feels realistic, assign ownership, and commit to implementation dates. Remember the philosophy of this workshop. Risk compounds. A small vulnerability today can become a major vulnerability tomorrow. The longer a weakness remains unaddressed, the more expensive and difficult it becomes to solve. Start with your most critical vulnerabilities. Anything scoring between 0 and 2 should become your immediate priority over the next 90 days. Next, identify the systems you want to strengthen over the following 6 months. Finally, decide what your family should test over the next 12 months. Resilience isn't something you assume, it's something you verify. Ask yourselves, who owns this action? When will it be completed? How will we know it's been done? The objective isn't simply to identify risk, it's to ensure every important hedge has a clear owner, a target date, and a measurable outcome, because a resilience plan only creates value when it is implemented. By the end of this workshop, you'll have identified where your family is most vulnerable, understood how to interpret those vulnerabilities using the harmonic mean, designed practical hedges to reduce risk, and built a resilience timeline for putting those protections in place. Remember, families do not fail at their average strength, they fail at their weakest point. The earlier you identify that weak point, the easier it is to strengthen. When you're ready, continue to Workshop 5, Operations, where you'll bring everything together into a practical 90-day operating rhythm, with clear priorities, ownership, and quarterly commitments that keep your family's wealth governance journey moving forward.